Welcome all to the weekly outlook. Boone here from EWPRO. Getting straight into the weekly outlook, starting with the DXY on the daily. Nothing's changed on the daily. We've got that WXY. We'll be looking for the X2 and the Z up. Like we've mentioned, we can get an A, B, C in here and then go and break the top. Looks like that's just about completed. If we have a look on the H4. Yeah, it has broken the top just, but you're getting another little flag in here. You know, you'd be really only scalping this one. You know, if you get a setup to buy, you'd just be scalping it, because we will start to get that bearish divergence. On the H1, it's pretty much just one wave up. So we'll be looking for an A, B, C. This is very impulsive, so it may turn into a wave Y. You'd be first targeting the 100 pip and then the 161.8. AU on the daily. So we're just looking at this last section here. Looking at this A, B, C. Bounced off that 100 pip, we'd be looking for this C down for a larger A, B, C. On the H4, we had that A, B, C. We're getting a sell set up in here now. If we go down to the H1, like I've been mentioning in the last couple of weeks, when we got this trend line break in here, it would just be looking for a correction and then more downside. We sort of got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up in here and we'll break out. So if you get any sell set up in here, look for that sell. EU on the daily. So we've got that WX extended wave Y. We'll be looking for that X2 and then the Z down. We don't have any bullish divergence, so I'll just be looking for a correction in here in X2 and then a Z down. We need that larger correction. H4, we got that A, B, C. There's a larger correction and we got the breakout. We did have a breakout in here, and this is the one trade that you really needed to take. You are getting another bearish setup in here. We'll have a look on the H1. So we got the WXY. This is actually a larger correction, but it doesn't. We're still looking for more downside. Whether we look at it as a wave Z or a B, C, doesn't matter. We're still trading in the direction to go and break the low. So yeah, this one hasn't really broken out as such. And there is no bearish divergence, so I'd be, yeah, it may not be ready yet. But if you do get a break below this low here and then get a sell set up, well, then you could take it. GU on the daily. So we're looking at that WX extended wave Y again. We'll be looking for that X2 and then a Z down. On the H4, I was hoping we'd get across in here, but we're looking at a WXY. I was hoping we'd get across in here for an X2 and then a Z down. This here is internal. So I was looking for this during the week, so I can take that off. So we got a little contracting flat in here and then an A, B, C. Didn't quite get up to that 100 fib. Well, this is a 38.2, but if we get a sell set up in here, you could look for it. You will start to get bullish divergence, so you know it's more of a scalp. NU on the daily. We're looking at that A, B, C for more downside. On the H4, we got this nice correction in here, or flag. So any little setup you get, any sell setup on the lower time frames you get, you can look for that to go and break that low. UY on the daily. So we got that WX extended wave Y, looking for the X2 and then a Z down. But like I've been saying, excuse me, this can be an A, B, C in here. We break the top and it's still part of wave Y. After this is complete up here, we'll be looking for that 38.2 retracement. And then there's possible Z up. On the H4, you can see the structure A, B, C as expanding flat. You're getting a little bullish flag in here. You could definitely look to buy to go and break that top. It's more of a scalp, you know. We're going to start to get bearish divergence, so it's really only a scalp. The Swissy on the daily. So we've got that WXY looking for a correction, similar size as this one here, over here, before we get that Z up. So this is becoming quite tricky. I'm looking at that A, B, C. It hasn't quite got to that 100 fib. This is looking a little bit bullish in here, so we may get another spike up here up to the 100 fib. Or it may even turn as an expanding flat and break this top here. So if you do get a buy set up in here, you definitely could take it. Definitely take half off it at the 100 fib, and then yeah, if it breaks that top, well, you know, as soon as you start to see it reverse, you could take the second half off. UCAD on the daily, we got that A, B, C. It didn't get up to that 100 fib, but this isn't looking real impulsive either. We're getting a large correction in here. On the H4, you can sort of see what I'm looking at. We're sort of getting a 3-3. We get 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we may even get 5 down in here, or just an impulse, or even 3 down. We can either get just an impulse, or 1, 2, 3 in here as a 333, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as a 335 pattern. So it's looking corrective. I'll be looking for that impulse down as a complex correction though. But for the time being, you know, you could, if you get a bullish setup, you could look for the buy. It'd just be a scalp again though, you know, and then you'd be looking for the sell. GY on the daily. This is becoming quite complex. We got those 5 up, excuse me, with the bearish divergence, and we're just looking for correction. This is looking very corrective for more upside. So sort of looking at this as an A, B, C in here, and then I was looking for an A, B, C, and then the larger A, B, C. Instead, we got all this in here. We didn't get this one up in here. I'd stay out of this because it's been going sideways for a few weeks now. There's really not much you can do. You know, it's not following the structure as like the A, B, C. So it's giving something else in here. I'd just be staying out of it for the time being until we get something clear. EG on the daily. So we're looking at that like A, B, C, and then we get that A, B, C. So we are looking for price to go and break the low on the H4. This is, we got that W, X, Y, X2 and a Z down. We got the bullish divergence. This is still looking rather corrective. So I dare say we get 5 down in here, larger correction, and then another 5 down. So you really got to wait for this correction over here to be over and then start looking for the sells. We had the bearish divergence between the two tops here. We may be starting to lose that bearish divergence. No, we still, more than likely, this divergence will hold if it breaks the top. And then, you know, if you get any sells set up, I'd be looking for the sell. Gold on the daily. So we're looking at for that like A, B, C, and then an A, B, C. On the H4, like I've mentioned many times, we've got that W, X, Y, X2, Z down, and we lost all that bullish divergence. So I was just looking for a correction and then another one down. Here we have the bear hidden, and that was confirmed. So I am looking for this to go and break the low. So any sell setup you get, you can look for that sell. On here, we got a W, X, Y, a larger X2, but we got a bear hidden here. Well, last week I was saying, you know, we were looking for a correction, and I said, you know, more than likely we'll get a bear hidden here and then a Z down. Again, you can either look at it as a Z down or A, B, C, you know, down to this 100 fib. Ideally, we want it to break this low over here. So, yeah, look for the sells. So any little sell setup you get in here now, you know, you could definitely look for that more downside. WTI on the daily. So we got the 5 up and we lost all the bearish divergence, and then we get an A, B, C. This may turn, like I've been mentioning, you know, this can be an A, B, C in here, and then we get an A, B, C before we get the larger A, B, C as a larger correction. So there is quite a few possibilities in this still of what structure we're getting. On the H4, we got that W, X, Y. Then we got an A, B, C. We're getting that C up now. And then we'll be looking for more downside A, B, C to finish off the move. And then we'll be looking for the upside. On the H1, we got this W, X, Y, getting it X2, and then we'll be looking for a Z up. This is your first target, and the 161.8 is your second target. You can see here we got bullish divergent, bull hidden divergence, sorry. So we've got a hidden divergence here, so we're looking for that to go and break the top. So any little bullish setup you get, you know, you could look for the buy. Bitcoin on the daily. So we're looking at this A, B, C. And then on the weekly, an A, B, C on the weekly. I was hoping we'd get a reversal from here, but this, like I've been saying for weeks and weeks and weeks, this is looking very corrective for downside. Last week it broke out, and then we got more consolidation in here, and it's broken out again. So, you know, if you're not in it, well, it's going to be hard to get in it now, because we're starting to get that bullish divergence on the H1 now. But if you get little flags, you can scalp them, but they're really only scalps, you know. So at this stage, S&P on the daily. So we're looking at that WXY X2 and a Z down. These are your targets here for the Z down, 123.6 and the 161.8. On the H4, this was still this possibility that we get a Z up here. Thing is, we got a WXY. This was like an expanding flat here. The problem is, we had the bearish divergence in here, so that's fine. So we're sort of looking for the sell, but it's more than likely we won't get this Z up, because we already had the bearish divergence. The problem now is we are getting a possible bull hidden. So you have to be very careful. You have to wait for a really nice setup before you can take, you know, if you get a nice setup, a sell setup, or you could take the sell setup. If you get a nice buy setup, well, you could take the buy for the Z up. So yeah. U200. The thing that I don't like about this is, like I said last week, we're not getting that bear hidden. We're getting a WXY. This can still be an X2 for, and then a Z down, but we don't have that bear hidden. I'd like to see that bear hidden before I look for the sell. On the H4, again, very similar to S&P, we got that WXY, and we have the bearish divergence. So we more than likely won't get a Z up, but again, we may, because, you know, in here we had the we've got a bull hidden here, but this up here never went and broke that top. So it's becoming more complex. We go down to the H1. We got a very deep pullback. Like, we got a nice impulse down, and then this is more of an impulse too, and this is an impulse. So we haven't really got the correction yet. Here we have a bear hidden. So more than likely this will go and break that low. So if you do, but it'll break it in a corrective structure. So if you do get a bearish setup in here, you definitely take it, and definitely be a break even at that low there, because we may get an A, a B, C, and then we get an A, B, C, and then you get the A, B, C. So this can become quite complex, you know, because we're getting all these impulses. This is very impulsive, this is rather impulsive, and this is impulsive. We've got to wait for that B wave in here, and then look for the sell. The DAX on the daily. So we're just looking at this A, B, C in the B wave, and then we've got the C up. It didn't get anywhere near that 100 pip, and it's bounced off the trend line. We do have a bear hidden in here. So, you know, more than likely it will go and break the low. On the H4, we had all this bearish divergence in here, and, you know, here was just sell set up here, unless you got into one up here. pretty much if you get a little bearish setup, you can take the flags, bearish flags, but you're really only scalping, you know, to go and break the low. And the FTSE, so we've got that W, X, Y, X to the Z up. We had all that bearish divergence. Problem is, we didn't sort of, we got that nice impulse down, but then we got that deep correction. So I'm looking at this as an A, B, C. I'd like this to go up and break the top, and then we look for the A, B, C as a larger correction before we get A, B, C. So this is really tricky. It's not playing the game. You know, me personally, I wouldn't trade this instrument, but some of you out there do. We're looking at bearish divergence in here. We've got that A, B, C. We've got a breakout. If you got into a sell in here, you know, you'd be looking for any little bearish setup you get, you know, you'd be looking for a sell to go and break that low. Because we have the bearish divergence, the daily and the H4, they sort of aren't following each other. So it's really difficult, you know, the time frames, because on the daily, we really want it to go and break that top in 3 waves, and then give the impulse down. But yeah, we can only trade what we're getting, and that's what we're getting. Yeah, the H1 is really not much either. It's not giving nice structures. So be careful if you're trading it. So that's it for the weekly outlook. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like button, share and subscribe to help out the channel. And enjoy your weekend.